It's been more than 6 years since Alita Battle Angel hit theaters, and even though fans have been holding out hope for a sequel all this time, updates have been scarce. But recently, Rosa Salazar, who brought Alita to life with such energy and heart, gave everyone a reason to get excited again. During her appearance on Collider's Ladies' Night interview series, she dropped a hint that the long-awaited follow-up might still be on the horizon. Salazar, who's been the face of the fan movement pushing for Alita 2, made it clear that her passion for the project hasn't faded one bit. "I'm always bringing up Alita," she said with a smile, adding, "It might still happen." That little line alone was enough to reignite hope among fans who have been waiting since 2019 for the story to continue. The actress explained that part of her optimism comes from James Cameron himself, who co-wrote and produced the original film alongside director Robert Rodriguez. She pointed out that Cameron still has the film's sets, which could make returning to Iron City a real possibility. But she also joked about the only real obstacle standing in the way: Cameron's famously packed schedule. "We'll have Cameron just as soon as this next Avatar," she said, laughing. It was a playful nod to the fact that Cameron's Avatar sequels have been eating up his time for over a decade, making it tough for him to dive into another massive sci-fi production anytime soon. When the show's hosts said they wanted to see more sequels, Salazar enthusiastically agreed, replying, "Me either," and explained that she's one of those fans online constantly rooting for more Alita. "I'm one of those. I'm all the bots online doing that," she joked, referring to the film's devoted internet fanbase, affectionately known as the Alita Army. So why does Salazar still feel so strongly about making another Alita movie after all these years? For her, it all comes down to how special the first experience was. Working alongside Cameron and Rodriguez wasn't just another gig, it was something she genuinely loved. "It's the best," she said. "You have James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez, who are friends, making this thing together. All the love is there. You have an amazing script, you have Weta handling the visual effects, thousands of people working on it, and it all comes down to these emotional moments between two people. It's just so amazing." She talked about how she thrives on collaboration, and getting to do that on such a massive scale was an experience she'll never forget. Before Alita Battle Angel, Salazar was known for her supporting roles in films like the Divergent series Insurgent and the Maze Runner sequels. But Alita was her first time leading a blockbuster, and she admitted that the idea of carrying such a huge movie was both thrilling and nerve-wracking. "It felt validating for about 3 seconds, she recalled, "and then you're like, I'm so nervous." Even though she had those initial jitters, Salazar said she knew from the moment she read the script that she could do justice to the character. She remembered one particular audition with Rodriguez that solidified everything. "From the first moment I read it, I thought, I can bring this home for you." During my final audition with Robert, I finally had the time and space to really show him who I thought Alita was, and when he saw that our visions matched, it was smooth sailing after that. Since then, Salazar has developed such a deep connection to Alita that she actually wrote her own treatment for a sequel. She revealed that right after finishing the first film, she couldn't resist imagining where the story could go next. "I wrote this treatment for Alita 2 right after the film and sent it to James Cameron," she said. "He told me, 'This is so cool.' Of course, she doesn't expect her version to be the one that actually gets filmed, but it says a lot about how much she loves the world and the character. I'm such an avid fan of those books," she explained. "I just couldn't help myself." Fans might remember that back in December 2022, Cameron mentioned he and Rodriguez had made what he called a blood oath to make Alita 2 happen someday. The delay since then, it seems, has more to do with the studio than with the creative team. After all, producing another Alita movie would be an expensive endeavor, and while the first film did decently at the box office, it wasn't the kind of runaway hit studios usually like to gamble big on. So, executives might be hesitating, even though the fan enthusiasm has grown only stronger with time. There's also the question of reassembling the original cast. The first movie featured an impressive lineup. Mahershala Ali played the cunning Vector, and Edward Norton made a surprise appearance as Nova, the mysterious figure pulling strings from the city above. Both actors are now in high demand, which could complicate things if their schedules don't line up. But despite those challenges, the Alita army has kept the dream alive online. The community has spent years campaigning for a sequel, keeping the conversation active across social media. And honestly, the numbers speak for themselves. The film has a stellar 91% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Even if it wasn't a massive hit at first, it clearly resonated with fans, who appreciated its heartfelt story, detailed world building, and groundbreaking visual effects. When you look back at the first movie, it actually feels like it was designed to be the beginning of something bigger. The ending left a bunch of plot threads dangling, hinting at the larger battles and mysteries waiting beyond the scrapyard. The story wrapped up Alita's first big emotional journey, discovering who she really was, but it also opened the door to explore much more. The film's core theme of identity and humanity could easily expand into a deeper series, diving into how Alita balances her warrior instincts with her human emotions. There's also a lot of untouched material from Yukito Kishiro's Gundam manga that could fuel several sequels. For instance, fans still haven't seen much of Salem, the sky city that looms over Iron City throughout the first movie. We only got glimpses of what it represents, a place of privilege and power that Alita dreams of reaching, but the sequel could finally take her there. And then there's the revenge arc that was clearly teased. In the finale, Alita swore to avenge Hugo's death, setting up her eventual confrontation with Nova. That storyline could drive the emotional center of Alita 2, with her fight for justice pushing her deeper into the dangerous world of Motorball. To get to Nova, she'd have to become the final champion, which also means facing off against Jashugan, played by Jai Courtney. There's also the chance that the sequel could bring back Michelle Rodriguez as Gelda, Alita's former mentor, expanding on their backstory and exploring more of Alita's warrior origins. It's easy to imagine how all of these threads could come together in a follow-up that's even more intense and emotionally charged than the first one. The interesting thing about this potential sequel is that practically everyone who worked on the original wants to do it, they're just waiting for the right moment. Rodriguez and Cameron have both said multiple times that they'd love to return to Alita's world. The only real holdup seems to be Cameron's packed schedule. He's still deeply involved in the Avatar films, and because those productions take years of his focus, it's unlikely he'll have time to co-write or produce another major film until the Avatar saga winds down. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.